Are you ready to retire? I mean, really ready to retire, not just burnt out, ready to be done working, but you're putting a plan together and you're ready to figure out what retirement is going to look like for you. Do you understand how to calculate your pension and how that can be maximized? Do you know how your TSP is going to function in retirement? I'm here to help you learn how to do all of that. My name is Barbara Gulin. I'm an independent investment advisor representative. And while this is the first in a series of videos where I'm going to train you on your federal benefits, we'll get into the real meat and potatoes in the next session. But for this session, I want to introduce you to me, tell you a little bit about who I am and why I do what I do. You see, even though I've never been a federal employee, both of my parents actually were federal employees at one point in their life. My mom only worked for the federal government for a few years, and when she separated from service, she took her CSRS deposits with her. She wasn't eligible for a pension at the time, and she actually ended up using that money to further her education. My dad, on the other hand, was a career social worker for the Veterans Administration. He had initially wanted to enlist in the military during the Vietnam conflict. He was turned down by all 5 branches of the military because he'd had some back surgery and he had some health issues. And so he realized that the best way he could help as service to his country was to go into civil service. He spent most of his career setting up treatment plans for Vietnam vets. And I spent a whole lot of my childhood on Friday nights or Saturday nights. My dad would check out 4 or 5 guys on a pass. They'd either come sledding on our land in Wyoming, or we'd take them out to eat at a restaurant or do something to help them reintegrate back into society. He was helping them deal with what we now call post-traumatic stress. When my dad finally hit that magical number of age plus years of service with the federal government, he was pension eligible. And he wanted to retire. He wanted to go into the private sector. The second half of his career, he spent working with kids who had problems. But my dad's banker convinced my dad, instead of taking a pension, to instead take that lump sum of his deposits. My dad's banker promised him that he'd be able to help my dad make more money than that pension was going to pay, and that it would be of a greater benefit to him to do that. The problem is, remember, I told you my dad had some health issues, and by the time he retired, he was actually a type 1 diabetic. When my dad decided to take this banker's not so great advice, in my opinion, my dad forfeited all of his federal benefits, his health insurance, the potential for that pension for the rest of his life, and a myriad of other things. When my dad passed away, he was on about 25 different medications. And knowing now what I know then, I wish I could go back in time and tell my dad, take the pension. It'll benefit you more in the long run. Because the end result is that those deposits that the banker convinced my dad to take out were used to collateralize another business. That business failed. So in essence, my dad lost everything for all of his service that he dedicated to our country. Like I said, this is the first in a series of videos where I'll talk to you about how your benefits work and how we can help you create and maximize as successful a retirement as you've got coming to you. You know, you've made about 22% less on average than your private sector counterparts. And I feel like it's important that you guys get accurate, unbiased advice and understand what it will take and what resources you have available to you to help create that successful retirement. I'm looking forward to getting into the heart of this training, starting with the next video. If you're in this first series that we're launching, we're going to put out a new video about once a week so that you've got time to process the information, reach out to us if you've got questions, or find out if there's a way that we could be of better service to you. When you fill out the evaluation form below to tell us a little bit about you, I've got a couple of complimentary gifts that I'm going to send you so that we have an opportunity to reach out and connect. The first one is a copy of this book I've designed that's called When I Die, Look Here First. In it, you'll find a place to store important things like passwords, list where you have your safety deposit box or boxes, heirlooms that you've promised to specific people, and even a journal section in the back where you can answer questions about your own life and childhood so that future generations can see it in your own handwriting and hear it in your own voice. That's going to be our complimentary gift to you. The cover might look a little bit different, but the contents of the book are going to be the same. The other thing I'm going to send you is a code so that you can watch this movie. It's called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. And if you've got any concerns about taxes and retirement and how that might impact you, this is a movie you need to watch. I could go on and on about it for quite some time, but I'm going to let the trailer do the talking. I'm looking forward to visiting with you virtually over the next few weeks as we talk about your different benefits and how to make the most out of them. And I'm hoping that you'll enjoy the book and the movie. Have a great day.
Counting on a pension being there when you retire, you should be aware that there are consultant corporations are busy hiring to figure out how to screw you out of your pension benefit. And that's what's happening across the world right now.
And it's scandalous, and it's creepy.
Everybody seems to like a pension. If you doubt that, try taking it away from them and you'll see how people react.
Those are a risky type of retirement plan to operate because you don't have a lot of certainty today about what your obligations will be in the future.
Well, most people refer to me as the father of 401k because I got internal revenue approval of the first 401k savings plan.
I don't want to do what my father's family did. I don't want to do that.
I know lots of people who have a 401k and it works really well.
When the dot-com bubble burst, my 401k became a 201k. I did not know that you could lose money in a 401k.
I'm ready to retire. We have all of our money and then the crash happens.
The reality is that you chose the risk-based option where money was in the market.
You give the burden of planning retirement, place it upon the shoulders of the person who knows the least. I think it was a disaster.
There's got to be a better way to try to save for retirement than using something where half your money can disappear almost overnight and there's nothing you can do about it.
And what's been happening over the last few years is, yes, our accounts have been growing. It looks like we're getting wealthier, but the income that we can get from that sum of money is shrinking.
Retirement is so much different, and the advisors need to shift to become income experts and retirement income experts and risk managers.
You have to figure out what are you going to get from Social Security and Medicare.
It's been estimated that Social Security will run out of money, not entirely, but it will run out of money such that benefits will have to be cut by 1/3 for everyone, current retirees, future retirees.
What is often underappreciated is that doing nothing and really politicizing the issue is a way of doing nothing will result in a massive cut to everybody's Social Security benefits.